Hey, good morning, everybody. Peter Kaima here. It is no longer 8:30. It is much, much later than 8:30. We're at almost 8:40 at this point in time. Let me apologize to all of you for being late this morning. Um, I'm prepared for coffee talk today. I just completely missed the clock altogether. Anyhow, listen, I wanted to say good morning to everybody, and I've got some really fun things to share today, and some really exciting things coming up that I can't wait to tell you about. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First of all, let's start with raising my Kama cup of coffee to you and ask you: do you have your Kama cup of coffee? Are you ready to go? All right. So, a couple of big dates coming up, right? A couple of major dates coming up. Number one, we are 9 days, just 9 days away from fall as of this morning. 9 days, guys. That leaves us 102 days away from Christmas. Just 102 days, shopping days left. Actually, 101 shopping days left, unless you're actually going to be out on Christmas morning. Good morning, everybody. Christina, good to see you. I love that you tune in every week, Christina. It means a lot to us, and we're grateful for that. So lots of things going on. Again, 9 days until fall starts. You wouldn't believe it by being outside today. It is absolutely going to be brutally hot. We had baseball practice last night, and it was really hot out last night, guys. And then let's see, the NFL has started. So last week we neglected to do coffee talk last week. We had technical difficulties here in the office, and so we never got to do a coffee talk last week. So we didn't get to talk about opening weekend of the NFL. Who your picks were, how your fantasy went, and all that. So I want to talk about it today. A couple of questions for you. Number one, do you play fantasy football? And number two, did you win your draft? I got to tell you, I'll be honest with you, I won our draft. Likely to win the season this year. For those of you, Steve Kruger, and those of you guys that are in the league with me, you know what I'm talking about. And then the other question I have for you is, guys, who wins the Super Bowl this year? Don't tell me who your favorite team is. Don't tell me what your heart tells you. Tell me really, who do you think wins it all this year? Is it the Patriots? Is it the Saints? Is it do the Chargers really have a chance? Who do you really think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? I'd love to get a list from you of just the one team that you think right now sitting here today that you think is going to win the whole thing. Pretty tough to bet against the Patriots, right? I mean, while they're dealing with some drama right now, the whole Antonio Brown thing and all of that, quite frankly, they're loaded. And they're just so well coached, right? Man, as much as I can't stand the Patriots, they're good and they're loaded. Crystal, good morning to you. So I have to say it's be tough for me to pick anybody except the Patriots. Injuries by, not taken into account. If they're healthy, they're tough to beat. Could not be happier than my opening weekend win for the Oakland Raiders on their continued quest to an undefeated season this year. They're 1-0. And really excited about the Raiders this year. Got to tell you, got a really cool trip coming up. Part of the reason I think I missed the beginning of coffee talk this morning was I'm working feverishly trying to get so much done this morning because tomorrow morning I'm having a guys trip. And the guys are me and my two boys, Cole and Camden. We're going to board a plane in Raleigh early tomorrow. When we land, we're going to land in San Francisco. You see, we're going to go to the Raider game on Sunday. They play the Chiefs. We're going to see Patrick Mahomes. So we're going to see the Raider game on Sunday. And then we're going to stay for 3 Oakland A's games. The A's come home. They got 3 games with the Royals. And many of you have heard me reference him before, but one of Camden's idols happens to be a local boy, a guy right here from Wake Forest, a guy by the name of Jeremy Dowdy, who played in the Chicago White Sox system and is now the bullpen catcher for the Oakland A's. Well, Camden really looks up to Jeremy for the time he has spent with him. And so we're going to fly out there, get a chance to catch up with Jeremy, get a chance to watch 3 A's games, watch a Raider game, and probably do more things that Mom probably wouldn't approve of when we're out there. So we're super excited about that. We've got Alcatraz tickets for Tuesday. What else are we doing? Of course, the boys want to go to the Ghirardelli factory, Golden Gate Bridge, all that kind of stuff. We'll probably hit Muir Woods and go for a hike. Guys, I am so excited about this trip. We'll go to the Raider game Sunday, and then the A's games Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And Wednesday's really special. Get this. So in Oakland for many years, because they're at one coast, and a lot of their games they have to travel a lot further. One of the really cool things that Oakland has always done for the opposing team and for themselves is on Wednesdays they'll do what they call a businessman special, and they'll play a day game on Wednesdays. So most of the time when the A's are home on a Wednesday, they'll play a day game. So we're going to go to 2 night games and then catch an afternoon, just kind of a lazy afternoon baseball game. Could not be more excited. Weather looks like it's going to be 72 degrees during the daytime and sunny, and 57, 55 in the evening times. Cannot wait to get to the Bay Area and spend some time out there. See some family, see my Aunt Betsy, my Uncle Tom, and a few others, and really excited just to kind of get back. For those of you that don't know, my passion for the Raiders and A's came as a young kid. I lived in the Bay Area. I lived 15 minutes from the Coliseum. Used to go to ball games with my Uncle Tom all the time, and so it's kind of a thrill for me to get back there. Really, really excited about this trip. And I think it's going to be really special for Camden. He's got some hopes that there might be a chance that he gets onto the field prior to the games, and just really, really excited about this trip. So, anyhow, again, who's your favorite NFL team, and who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Come on, you've got to tell me. Christina, I know who your favorite team is. Who's going to win it? Let me know. So a couple of other things. It is now fall, right? We are just about there. We're 9 days away, as I told you. We're just about there. What are some of the things that come to mind for when fall comes around? Like, what is it? Like, for me, it's my favorite time of the year. As a New Englander, somebody who grew up in New England, for the most part, fall is really special to me, right? I mean, I really enjoy that time of the year. That being said, I wrote down a list of things that come to mind. Things like pumpkins. And for people, I'm going to get to another. I digress this quickly. So pumpkins. I guess women are supposed to wear white after Labor Day or something. I don't know about that. Pools are closing. You get one more chance to get to the beach while the weather's still in the 90s. Football, of course, festivals, pumpkin everything, hoodies, having your windows open. Those are all the kind of things that kind of come to my mind. Of course, raking leaves is one of the less pleasant things that come to mind when it comes to the fall. And then the one that I didn't mention is I learned a new slang term yesterday. You see, there's a slang for those people who like these things called pumpkin spice lattes. Apparently, you're supposed to call them PSLs. No idea. I have no idea what that means, but pumpkin spice lattes. You know, when we last week when we did not have the coffee talk, one of the things that was going on at that time was the hurricane was hitting. And while we pray for those people that are dealing with significant losses and challenges from the hurricane, we did not get hit here. We got some rain and what have you, and very fortunate. If you're with me, knock on wood. That being said, one of the things that came to mind was the days off from school, and it brought back memories of snow days of when I was a kid. See, I grew up in a small town named Orange, Massachusetts, and when I was there, one of the things that we used to do all the time was in the winter when we knew it was going to snow. Early the next morning, we had a town fire station, small town now. You could hear the town horn, the siren, whatever you want to call it, the town horn, and it would have, if it got to, I believe it was 5 horns. If you got 5 consecutive horns, that means school was canceled. I think 3 minutes was delayed. So you would sit there in your bed early in the morning in the dark, and you would hear the first horn. Then you'd hear the second horn. Then you'd hear the third horn. And you're like, yes, school is delayed. And then you'd sit there with bated breath, just waiting to find out, will the horn continue? And every once in a great while, you'd hear that 4th horn, and all of a sudden, all the kids would jump out of bed. Easier when there's no school than there was with school, of course. But we would all jump out of bed with excitement because that meant no school that day. So for what it's worth, these most recent days off from the hurricane brought back some pretty cool memories as a kid. So a couple of things. I'm going to wrap up here pretty quickly. So a couple of things about real estate. Number one, I'm going to give you 3 reasons to sell this fall. People always talk about when's the best time to sell. Well, let me just back up and answer that question first. The best time to sell is when you're ready to sell. It makes sense for you in our market. Now, it might not be the case in other markets, but in our market, the reason for that is, guys, we're so insulated from a lot of the ups and downs in the economy. Not that we're completely immune to the changes, and not that there isn't some sort of a rhythm to our market, because there is. But quite frankly, our market stays good in the wintertime. It stays great in the fall. Our market stays pretty good year-round. Do we sell more houses in the spring and the summer? Absolutely we do. Why? Well, there's more houses for sale is part of that reason. And because I think people are conditioned to wait in those times. But let's talk about the best time to sell. Gang, the fact is, with the 8 universities here pumping new people into our economy every 3 months, with the being right between Charlotte and D.C. on the banking capital of the East Coast, with our tourism impact, with our government, with our Research Triangle Park, with our hospital system, we're very fortunate in that we don't rely on one specific economy for us to be healthy. The fact is, anytime you're ready to sell is a good time to sell. So let's just use that as our foundation. Now let's give you 3 reasons why it's a good time to sell right now in this current market. Number 1, demand continues to be strong. If you're looking to sell right now, buyers don't have a lot of choices. Command continues to be strong, which brings us to number 2, and that's less competition for you. There are less homes on the market right now than there are in the spring. So you could have a little more leeway in how aggressive you want to be with your pricing, right? And then finally, the process tends to be a little bit quicker right now. Why? Because the pressure is on the buyer to do what the seller wants. So if the buyer's offering 4 weeks of due diligence and then wants 4 additional weeks to close, the reality of it is if the seller wants 3 weeks worth of due diligence and wants to close 2 weeks after that, because there is such a demand and because there's such a lack of inventory, the process right now continues to shorten up. So if you're looking to sell, in our market in particular, sell when it's right for you. Don't worry about the ebbs and flows of the market, quite frankly. Do we sell less homes in the wintertime? Absolutely. Are there less homes for you to compete with in the wintertime, though? Absolutely. And then remember this. If somebody is out looking at houses in the middle of September through the end of the year, guys, those are not looky-loos. Those are not your neighbors knocking on the door just to see the inside, getting their local real estate agent friend who sold 2 houses in 3 years to open a door for them. These are people that are actually, because they're busy, man. School's back in session. You got all these things going on. We just talked about how busy fall is. If you're looking at houses right now or you're getting showings, those are legitimate buyers. Those are people actually out looking at houses. So keep that in mind that right now is a good time. So anyhow, there's your real estate tip of the week. I hope you guys are doing well. We are leaving for Oakland in the morning. Cannot wait to get to the Coliseum on Sunday. We'll post pictures, of course. Maybe we'll even do a Facebook Live from Oakland. I hope you guys are doing great, and I look forward to talking to you soon.